Hi, my name is Elizabeth Valli. Before my son was removed, life had already been a battle. I grew up in a home where addiction, instability, and violence were the norm. My father, though present in many ways, also caused deep harm through his anger and abuse. Over time, I came to see dysfunction as normal simply because it was all I knew. I met my son's father when I was 11. We were both trying to survive our own difficult upbringings. As we grew up together, our relationship became one of the only sources of comfort I had, but it wasn't a healthy one. He struggled deeply, and eventually his behavior became dangerous and abusive. At 16, I became pregnant while we were both homeless, and I worked hard to prepare for motherhood. I truly believed I could do it. But abuse doesn't just stop because a child arrives. I stayed in that relationship longer than I should have because I didn't know what a safe life looked like. After enduring more violence than I thought I could survive, being beaten, stabbed, raped and more, I finally made the decision to call the police. I chose not to leave just for me, but for my son. That moment started a long, painful journey. A social worker placed me and my son into foster care since at the time I was still a minor myself. CPS got involved with my parents since I was pregnant in a DV relationship and had been homeless and moving from friends' houses to another. My own parents had signed their rights away, wanting nothing to do with the situation, so I had no one else to turn to. Still, I stayed focused. I finished high school early, held a job, and did what I could do to be the mom my son deserved. After aging out of foster care, I believed things would get better, but I made the mistake of letting my son's father back into our lives. The cycle repeated, and one day it ended with me calling the police again. That was the day my son was taken into protective custody. Being separated from him broke me. I fell into a deep depression and started using substances to cope. But even then, I didn't give up. I followed every step of my case plan, moved into a new apartment, took parenting and domestic violence classes, and also got a restraining order. I was determined to reunite with my son, and I did. 6 months later, after completing everything the system asked of me, I held my son again. That moment changed everything. It gave me the strength to recover, to rebuild, and to never look back. Since then, life hasn't been perfect, but it has been filled with purpose. I've had to relocate and protect my peace plenty of times, and I've faced challenges many people can't imagine. But I've also found a calling. I went from being a foster youth to becoming a youth advocate, and now also I am a parent advocate. I work every day to support families working towards reunification, just like I did. And that's it.